Well, that escalated quickly. Things are pretty crazy right now. It sort of feels like we're all going to hell in a handbasket, doesn't it? At least those of us who are here in the States watching everything roll out. But come on, man. You knew that something was coming. I hope you've been picking this up. It's been blowing in the wind for quite a while now. And the last thing we need at this point is to get in a position where we're destabilized because we're focusing on dividing lines. So I thought we would drop in and do a little read and see, in light of everything that is rolling out on major media, let's see what's really going on here. Okay, let's check out what's happening here and just sort of get a lay of the land. Maybe get some insight into what's happening behind the scenes, proverbially pull back that curtain on the wizard and see what the machinations are. I mean, I have my own viewpoints, but I want to transcend that and just see what wants to come through here. And let's dive into this energy so we can be prepared for what may be coming down the pike here, right? Bottom of the deck energy here, we have occupation. Okay, so I know everybody right now is really concerned about who is occupying these government offices. They're also concerned about the compromising situation with their information. I mean, come on, man. This information's been compromised all along. It's not like this is anything new. This is just something that is being done very blatantly and outright instead of being done by the scenes, but done behind the scenes, by the scenes. By the scenes, we should really be paying attention to, maybe. There's a lot more going on here than just what's happening with the Treasury, okay? But I think that this is a big concern for people, you know. They're wondering what's going to go on with their welfare here. They expect something's coming. I think we all feel that. Okay, we got expectation with occupation, okay? A lot of people may be wondering, you know, what is going on with the whole situation there now that all of our information has been compromised. But I really think it's important to remember that this information's always been compromised. It's always been compromised. What's different is it's being done blatantly in your face now, okay? You know, a lot of people are really concerned about their finances right now. They're concerned about what may be up ahead. They know something's coming here. A lot of people are worried about their jobs. They're worried about their future security. That's really what's at the forefront of their consciousness. They're worried about what this means, and they're wondering what is going on in that family room of that strange family that's taken over the White House there. What is brewing in this situation here, okay? Yes, yes, yes. You know, they're worried about people that are aligning with each other here and what that means. You know, what does it mean to have the politics so closely intertwined with big tech here? So let's see if we can get some more details here, okay? We've heard a lot of stuff thrown around about a coup, you know. You know, we have to remember that a lot of stuff is orchestrated. People really buy into the soap opera. They buy into what's presented through the major news outlets. They buy into the illusion of, you know, this two-party system. They buy into the illusion that there's actually like something that we have, you know, any agency over here. You know, we don't, you know, with the privileged lady in reverse, you know. You think you have these certain privileges, just like women thought they had a certain privilege when they were finally allowed to vote. But, you know, the powers that be that really pull the strings, they are behind all that. They are the puppet masters. So this is just the way it's always been. This is the great reveal. And here is where we began the hard work of the toil and labor that is really being ushered in with Pluto and Aquarius. It's a sign of the times. There's going to be a lot of upheaval here. And if we're going to get to the other side of the way things have always been and actually carve a new way forward, well, there's going to be a lot of growing pains. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to be able to just, sit on your butt and play the role of a pacifist and expect things to turn around. No, everybody is going to be moving through the challenges of what lies up ahead. Okay, nobody's going to be exempt from it. Nobody is an exception. All right, so there's a lot of change coming down the pipe, and there are things that are going to be challenging for us to move through. Now is the time to really pull those that you love close to you. Now is the time to really consider, who is my family? Who are the people that I want to align with, and strengthen each other, be there for each other, rely on those sources of support. We also really have to look at a new way to maneuver in terms of how we make our money, all right? Yeah, this is when it's time to really build community, come together as communities. And I really feel that it's essential to come into community locally. I think this is a time where it's really about grassroots movements. I think it's about time that we start looking at a different sort of structure in terms of economics. You can't sit here and rely on the powers that be to have your best interests at heart. The move is to go totally digital. And I've said this for a while. I think that that's something we should be really concerned about, because it's very easy to wipe out everything that you own overnight. Quite simply, it can happen in the blink of an eye with everything being digital. And there's no security there. It would be good for us to create barter and trade systems. It would be good for us to think about how can we develop our own grassroots economies within our own little communities here, okay? These things aren't easy things to pull together, and especially when people are in a fear space. And so this is another thing I want you to really consider with everything that's rolling out here, the way that fear is used to control, okay? So this is about pulling people together that are close to you and figuring out, how can we navigate this? How can we come together in our own individual communities? How can we start on home base and let that spiral out from us into grassroots movements where we can really start thinking about, what are we actually going to do here? What are we actually going to do here to get to the other side of the challenges we face, because we're just beginning here, crossing energy coming through. You see, what you don't realize is there is a way to actually reinvent the economy here with unexpected income, okay? You can't just judge things, off of initial impulse, There's a lot that's being radically shaken up right now, but you may not realize that some things really are worth rising to the challenge of, with high honor here, coming in with number 25. 7 energy here, okay? Do we really want to stay hitched to a framework that keeps us impoverished, that keeps us in a place of servitude, or do we want to have a different reality roll out here? So try to get a different perspective. And naturally, everybody has become quite comfortable in their little cages, whether that cage is a cubicle or a job that you can't stand, that you have to do just to make ends meet, or the role you've been assigned in life. Everybody's become quite comfortable. And right now, we're all collectively really being shaken up here, okay? So all of your root stuff is going to come up. You're going to be worried about your finances. How am I going to eat? How am I going to make it? What's going to happen with my job? Is my family going to be okay? All right. And this is a time when you're going to have to be strong, man. You're going to have to be strong. See, everybody's afraid of this. Money has become too much of a god for us. It really has. And there is something happening here with imprisonment, okay? But I feel like this is really speaking to us more than anything. It's speaking of the way we become too comfortable being caged here. And it's time to spring the lock and get free. Let me do a cut the deck energy here. We're going to dive a little bit more into this. You see, we're just at the start of a big journey. The old way is coming to an end, and now we got the soul train pulling up to the station, and there is a way we can move forward. in a new way, a better way. 10 on the clock, confirmation on that. See, the new beginning is inherent in the end, but it's going to get a little messy. What you don't see is that there's a pathway of transformation opening up here. There is light at the end of the tunnel, all right? It's not an oncoming train. It may feel like that right now. It's going to be destabilizing because everything that we've been used to is being shaken up. But maybe, there needs to be some questions we need to ask ourselves. And I think the first place to start is, what is the opportunity in what is being shaken up here? Because whenever there's a destabilization, there's an opportunity for things to come together in a new way. All right. And I really believe, as far as the people are concerned, it's really about us coming together in our communities. It's about starting locally and branching out from there. Okay. So this is first, pulling together the people you love, making a game plan. How are we going to handle these challenges that are coming up here? What do we want to do? What are some steps we can take to start to really consider how we can make ourselves secure? And then it's about, pulling people together in your local community and figuring out how can we come together, to stabilize ourselves. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying it in terms of outside of the current existing structure. You continue to try to do everything within this, I almost want to say sucker. Yeah, you're going to continue to be a sucker. If you continue to try to fight, try to fight for this independence, try to fight to come into a strong position against the current structure here. And with that, we have this 5 of Wands energy coming in with the 9 of Pentacles, okay? You see, right now, it's sort of like, there's a lot going on with sort of this big fanfare, moment where, the media is just having a play day with this. We have to remember, we get shown what they want us to see. All right. And there's a reason behind that. If we get really, riled up, if everybody moves into a fear space and everybody's panicking, okay, then we're all just going to get rolled over here, I have to say. But though there's a lot of earthquakes going on here that are being caused by what's happening, I would say that, yeah, it says here with the 5 of Wands that we do need to learn how to communicate in a new way, because these changes are coming and they're going to ripple through our lives. There are earthquakes coming here. We are going to be shaken up. And the reason being is that it's to overthrow the current political structure that's in place, the current structure that's in place, even with clergymen. It's all about sort of the framework that our whole society has been built on is being shaken apart right now. And we do have this message here of returns those who have run away. Okay, so it's like, that gives me the impression of almost like we're looking in the wrong place right now. It's like, don't get pulled in by the smoke and mirrors. Don't get pulled in by all this news, because it is really distractionary from who is really truly running away with the bag here, okay? There's something that needs to be digested here. But along the way, we do have an opportunity to recover what was lost. We do have the opportunity to align with excellent familiars. And that's about really recognizing that there's more of us than there are of them. And so if we come together and we think of new ways forward and we don't get sucked into the melodrama, then there is a way to turn this ship around, okay? And have it actually sail into a port that has everybody benefiting. So let's check it out, right? Now's the time you're going to have to be stoic, people. I have to tell you. You can't get all activated and freaked out. You're going to have your head together with what's coming up ahead. We're just getting started here. There's going to be so much coming in. It's going to be disruptive. It's like, we're being disrupted at this point, and everybody's afraid that, we're going to be put in a position where we're at more of a disadvantage. Some of the stuff that is being talked about is stuff that's about dismantling some of the things that have kept us in a place of servitude. You got to look at it comprehensively. You know, I'm not with any side, to be honest with you. I don't, you know, believe in this whole system as it is in place right now. I think it does need a complete restructuring. I see seeds of that and what's going on here, and I also see a lot that's messed up, you know, and is not necessarily going about it the best way, right? So, but that's what any kind of evolutionary process is about. Things get messy, mistakes will be made, things will be compromised. But again, I have to reiterate, everybody's freaking out about this. It's like your information's been compromised for so long. Hello. How many of you are on Facebook? Did you notice? Did you notice Zuckerberg up there? How many of you are on Facebook? Do you recognize you've already been compromised? This is nothing new. Yeah, come on. Don't be the fool. You have to be wise here, okay? We're all taking a big leap off a cliff here. We don't know what's going to happen. It's brand new for all of us. But you got to activate your will right now for these new beginnings. We have assistance with difficult and great undertakings as we're moving forward here. So don't get cold feet now, collective. You want to change? Oh, but you only want change if it's comfortable for you. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. That's not the way it works. It's not. You don't get to be comfortable and with these kind of changes that are rolling out here. And that's the truth. You see, Ace of Swords. It's time to take a stand for something true. And it is time to come together with people that you're aligned with here. There's an opportunity for us to actually clear out the negative energy. But we have to be willing to step out of the crossroads. We have to be willing to step out of that place of the way things have always been done. It's like everybody's got complaints, you know, about all this stuff happening. Everybody's got complaints. But the reality is, this is just the way it is in life. Nobody rides for free, you know, and it's time to get to work here. Page of Pentacles, we're all entering a lunar cycle. Okay, well, maybe a lot's going to be going down during this lunar cycle that we're in right now. Maybe there will be something major that happens leading up to the full moon in Leo on the 12th that finally gives us a way to sort of move forward, gives us a sense of steely determination. Maybe we will finally understand where the Piper is leading us there, okay? But I think that now is the time to really align with people that you feel like are your people, okay? That can give you strength, that can give you that sense of resolve to kind of, you know, keep doing the work, keep moving toward this process of stepping into a new kind of reality. And what is that going to look like? You have to remember, with Pluto and Aquarius, we're in this for the long haul. This is not something that's going to be like done and dusted, and it wouldn't matter who was in office, to be honest with you, because if you think that they're the ones calling the shots, no, come on, let's get real. You think that the Wizard of Oz is in office? Do you really? Come on. Get real. That's like reality TV, man. Okay, so you have to remember that. All these people are just following orders ultimately. All right, people are wondering, why is nothing not being done? Why is nothing not being done? Well, because why do you think? Because they don't want to do anything about what's happening. This was the plan. All right. That's right, Seven of Swords. I know it's a little dirty pool, but do you see here? Look at the double caduceus. It's like you don't realize it's actually a way through. And what it says here is it says returns items and punishes thieves and reveals hidden treasures. So see, what's happening right now is there's been the sounding of a new kind of charge, and everybody's really freaked out about it because they've been so comfortable living in their cage. They've been so comfortable living according to the dictates of the way things have always been. And for some people, maybe that's been because, you know, they've been able to get a lot of, you know, assistance, okay? And they feel now with the Five of Swords that that assistance that they once received has been cut off, and that's putting them in a real tight spot. It's a big tower for people, you know? A lot of people are really dealing with the injury of something that's a long-standing issue that's been festering for too long. But see, the judgment's coming down here. So we all got to get to work. We got to get our hands on it. We got to pull our boots up. We got to figure out how are we going to find a way forward. There's a lot of hidden stuff that's going to be coming to light. There is a lot of stuff that's going to be revealed, and it's going to shake people up. It is going to shake the hell out of us, right? And people need to have this awakening. It's really important, but what comes through are the answers that we need, not only about earthly things, but also about spiritual matters here, okay? And yes, we will need strength, but we do have the strength to rise above this, and we do have the strength to move forward and get to the other side. And we're all going through it together, right? We are all going through it together. Builds towers or destroys stone walls, causes rough waters, okay? So yeah, you know, what was built on faulty foundation will come down. Such is the way in the age of the Kali Yuga. This is what it's about. It's about exposing corruption. It's about exposing what's false. It's bringing down what was built on a faulty foundation, but not for all-out decimation. There's an opportunity there. You're being given a chance. Do you want to build again? Do you want to build it better? Do you want to build it in a new way? Okay. There's rough waters up ahead. Better get ready. You know, you have to get your sea legs here. Okay. We're going to be tossing and turning here. But it also destroys walls. So there's certain barriers that are going to come down as well. All right. Things that divide us are going to come down with the opportunity to unite us in a new way. All right. But right now, everybody's kind of caught up in the death of what has long been a dying age that's long overdue with the tower here. All right. This is all about the promotion of discord, war, arguments, falsehoods, you know, the generous responses that assuages people's fear, makes them feel like, oh, it's okay to be complacent, you know, everything will be just fine. But no, this is really asking you, like, what are you willing to do to change it? What are you willing to do to change it? You're going to have to get more active. You're going to have to get more active. You can go ahead and, you know, block traffic and yell in the streets. And, you know, meanwhile, the machine marches on. This is something you have to be aware of. Yep, that's right. The world continues to turn, right? But see, what I see here is an old cycle is being wrapped up. All these cards coming out are actually quite positive in relation to this tower and what we're collectively moving through right now with the world here. It says, give success in all ventures. There's a fountain of wisdom on offer here. And that wisdom is in not going back to the way things have been. Now, if you want things to be the way they've always been, you've had to have lost your mind, because they haven't been good. They haven't been right. They haven't been right in a long, long, long time. They haven't been right in forever. I can't think of a time when it ever was right. So the change is necessary if we're to get things right, all right? You're going to have more faith here. You're going to have more strength here with the 3 of Wands. See, we are covered here as we move forward and we move into that space of trusting that we have what it takes to turn this around. We have what it takes to ride out this storm. And it says here, construction of the universe helps with great works, and there is protection from adversaries, all right? There is. But in order for us to rise above that, we got to come together. And we got to come together in a new way, all right? So this is a matter of growing pains. Cut of the deck here. Let's see what we got. Page of Cups. Divine comfort. Gives consolation and protection from one's enemies, okay? It's time to cut through illusion. It's time to stop acting like these threats that we're facing are new threats. These are threats that have always been here, but now they're being exposed. And do you see lights being shed with the Page of Wands? And this actually blazes a new trail. It gives us a new way forward. And it says, propagation of light confounds the wicked and slanders and saves from enemies, right? This is just a starting point. We'll do little like checkups here and just kind of keep abreast of the situation as things continue to develop, as they will. But what I'm really getting from this right now is we have to understand that nothing is going back to the way it was, right? There's going to be a lot that's going to be coming out here, a lot that will be exposed that will be very destabilizing. There's going to be a lot of different systems that have been in place that are going to be completely dismantled. It is going to be destructive. Will there be missteps? Yes, there will. Will there be ways that it could be handled better? I'm sure. Okay. But trial and error is what happens anytime we're moving into this kind of evolutionary energy. As far as what can we do right now, it's really time for us to put our heads together and think about what are we going to do as the people here. And it starts with us and our loved ones, and then looking into our own little communities. How can we build community? How can you start like a barter and trade system within your own community? You can do that, you know, but you're not going to be able to do that if you're like sitting on your butt and you're like writing letters, you know, to these politicians. It's not going to achieve it. It's not. It's time for us to really understand that we have a lot more power than we give ourselves credit for. But we've just kind of become very comfortable in our cage. We've become very comfortable with our servitude. So as disruptive as everything is that's happening, and as much as it's shaking us up, at the same time, it's also waking us up, truly waking us up. And I don't mean woke culture here. It's waking us up. It's making us really confront everything that isn't working, everything that stopped working a long time ago. And it's also making us each as individuals take accountability and have a long, hard look in the mirror and ask ourselves, well, what's my part in this? And what am I going to do? How am I going to move through this? And how can I be somebody that helps to strengthen and helps to bring things together and helps to uplift, instead of being somebody that's just running around like a chicken with its head cut off, talking about how the sky is falling? It's time to get really practical, you know, organize things, you know, talk to your loved ones, talk to people in your community, bring people together, open up these discussions, figure out ways that you can even develop your own kind of economics within your own communities. It can be done, even if it just starts with little collectives of people. Maybe you can't get your whole city to change and get on board with a barter and trade system, right? But you could with a group of you. How would you do that? Well, you can get online, you can develop groups, you know, you can talk to people, you can make it happen, you can. But you're not going to be able to make it happen sitting on your butt. You got to get involved and be part of the change you want to see in the world. But like it or not, this tower is going to fall. Like it or not, things are coming down the pike. I almost feel like I want to get just like one card on the treasury situation here before I close up. All right, let's go ahead and do that, because I know that's really what everybody is sort of like focused on right now. You know, I think with everything that's been going on with the flights, I think it's obviously a deterrent, right, from travel at this time. Is it the best time for travel? I don't necessarily think so. I mean, I know I'm not really wanting to travel right now, right? But that's okay. Kind of get a lay of the land before you go off the rails here, collective, okay? It's time to really have clarity and stay informed, yes, but also when you watch the news, do be mindful of the fact that it is a form of manipulation. It is a form of propaganda. And the real news is stuff that they're never going to put on air. So that's something that, you know, you really need to having the proper perspective as you take in this information. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get around here on what's been going on with the whole treasury situation. Okay. Bottom of the deck, energy, 4 of Swords. Yep. So this is about being vigilant here. It says can make one appear like a soldier. Okay, so people may have the perception like we're about to be like under attack here, you know, where we're not safe on our own soil. But this is the thing. It's like all these things that people are afraid of. It's like the great unveiling. All these things that are being shown to you now are all things that have already been going on. They've been going on for a long time. It's nothing new. It's just, it's being done very overtly. It's being done in such a way that it's not being hidden anymore. Okay, it's like a big unveiling moment here. But with the 4 of Swords, it's like, yes, be vigilant, be aware, but don't panic, okay? Don't panic. Exercise your logic here, it says, and be prepared, okay? Be prepared for moving forward in a new way, all right? A way that's rooted in your power, and you can't be in your power if you move into that fear, anxiety space, right? So let's see what we got here. Okay, we got Ace of Pentacles in reverse in terms of the treasury. We've got the Lovers also in reverse here, bottom of the deck energy. Queen of Wands, divine power guards against mental troubles. Yeah, you see, I think right now this is just what everybody is so freaked out about. They're freaked out about what is going to happen with my money. What is going to happen with my money? What is going to happen with my security? I feel like I don't have protection anymore. Okay. And yeah, there's the fear of just sort of like something real sinister is at the wheel here. This is what's in the collective consciousness. But it says here, right, Lovers, in reverse, it says can make women barren, but it's in reverse when, you know, that's what it means when it's upright, that it can make women barren, but it's in reverse. And see, this coming in with the mental troubles, this gives me the feeling that don't be so quick to judge like a situation outright. Give this a little time for this dust to settle. Let's see what rolls out here, okay? Get a lay of the land. This is kind of how that's coming through, right? Now we got the card crossing that Ace of Pentacles in reverse with the Lovers, all right? 8 of Swords, truth and justice, protection from enemies who would steal one's fortune. That's not what's going to happen here. That's not what's going to happen here. Okay? It keeps reiterating this. See, we're on the road, a brand new journey with the Hermit here. We're going through the desert on a horse with no name. We don't know quite where we'll end up or when we're going to get to that midnight at the oasis when we can replenish ourselves. But we just are getting started here, okay? This is the time to exercise some wisdom, right? You can see what's ahead by what's being dismantled at this time. It's a little divination by trial by fire here. And with the King of Cups, it says, again, brings good familiars, all right? So we're really going to be moving in a new way in the future here. We're moving forward in such a way where we're recapturing something that we can get behind with our hearts. Like we're rediscovering what has true meaning here. What is worth taking a stand for? Cut of the deck. And again, it comes out again. Do you see strength? We have the strength to overcome these challenges, but it is about coming together, right? Loyalty, delivery from those who would seek to oppress, brings victory. Do you see? Do you see? 7 of Wands, liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. Do you see? There's something here about just watch with awareness. Gather your people together, you know, those you're close to, all right? make sure, if you are somebody who's really feeling scared, that you're gathering together with people that you do feel safe with, where you can talk about the things that are on your mind. Um, and yes, whatever you're moved to do, however you feel, called to make your voice heard, that's important. We know the voice has been coming forward a lot. But there's a lot that's coming through here about smoke and mirrors and just not panicking here. Okay. That's the worst thing you can do. Give this an opportunity for it to shake out. It may look really disruptive, but there's so much coming in here about liberation, deliverance from things that have oppressed us, a new way forward. We may not recognize that we're fighting for something, trying to hold on to something, that it's high time it completely comes undone and unraveled, because it wasn't working. It wasn't working. And I'm not saying that everything that's rolling out is being done the right way, Um, and I think when you're moving into a terrain like this, like there's going to be a lot of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of cleanup work. There's going to be a lot of, sort of wrong turns, and then trying to figure out how to course correct. But that's what it's like when you're trying to transform something that's been in place for a long time. It takes time. We got the Ace of Cups here. Explain it to me. I don't know what to tell you. The cards are not saying that this is something that we need to be afraid of. It's more saying that this is the beginning of what's needed for healing, whether we recognize it as the opportunity it is. Now, what we need to understand about healing, and as we're going through a transformation, it can look pretty scary, right? We don't know what to call it. We don't know what we're seeing. We're dealing with totally new stimulus here, right? But what we need to understand is, in these times when things are shape shifting by the minute, there's still an opportunity here. So as much as the powers that be are making their own choices and, moving in the ways they're moving, we also have a choice too. You get to choose how you move through this experience and what you do with it. And you can sit and you can get on social media and, you can complain about what's happening. It's not going to change what's happening. Or you can really think about, okay, what am I going to do in light of what's going to happen here? And how can I get active in my own way? Even if it's just beginning in a very gentle way of just making contact with people that give you a sense of strength, solidity, bringing people together, kind of talking about different ideas on how things can shift on a community level, and then take it the next step from there, slow and steady here, slow and steady, and being aware, being vigilant, but not losing it. Okay. Because the more that we get kind of sucked into all the drama that's playing out on the world stage, honestly, the more it'll destabilize us. Make sure that as you're taking in the news, that you take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Know that there's levels of manipulation there. And do be aware of really trusting the energy as you're reading it, and just take it one day at a time, and don't over consume the news either, because that's not going to help you at a time like this. I was going to close it out with that, but let's look at this Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at this for a minute, because I feel like this is a big fear. This money piece for the collective that they're very concerned about, like their financial stability, security. What do they need to know about this, Spirit? There's that Pied Piper. Okay. Yep. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on his pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. This is the leading of the charge, okay? It's just the beginning here. It says loyalty and allegiance. Loyalty and allegiance. I mean, this looks good. This looks good. It's a learning cycle, though. And it's growing pains. Things aren't going to be the way they were. I know that much. And maybe that's exactly as it needs to be. And maybe it's something we can't see right now, but we will come to understand in time. I'll bring in more on this as things develop.